Hey everybody, welcome to GayXYZ. It's your host Donovan and Christian and Jason. You guys there?
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Tonight we're talking about, well, I entitled this episode Dallatude for several reasons, but we're going to get into that and whatever you guys want to talk about. So why don't you guys go ahead? What's up? What's on your minds tonight? Anybody?
I lost my list.
Okay, let's start with Dallatude then, because I want to talk about that. Both of you guys are from Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, or you live here anyway. Mm-hmm. And do you find that Dallas has a Dallatude? I mean, you know what Dallatude is? What do you think it is? I find that there's a certain kind of attitude that Dallasites have, both straight and gay. But I think specifically when it comes to the gay community, we have a certain kind of, I don't know. When I go other places, people say you're from Dallas. Oh,
it's like, yeah. There's a funny saying that I heard when I first moved here. Everybody knows the whole thing, like keep Austin weird, but the Dallas version is keep Dallas pretentious. And I definitely think that we have a sense of entitlement issues in Dallas, and where that stems from, I'm not 100% entirely sure, again, because I wasn't born and raised here. I don't quite know. Mm-hmm. But just as an outsider coming in, being dropped in this like big ocean, that's how I see it. I tend to see a lot of people, you know, everybody feels like they're most important. Mm-hmm. And you know, it is still, there is a lot of Southern hospitality and everybody's fairly friendly for the most part, but that's how I interpret Dallatude.
Well, don't you think that there's some sort of I mean, for me, I was born and raised here, and I find it to be very true because if I go to other places around the world or anywhere, it's not to say that other places aren't equally as pretentious, but it's just that specifically, I think Dallas, I think here, you know, the big hair, the big cars, and everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Yeah, it's all about the $30,000 millionaire here, and why everybody wants to please everybody. Who knows?
Yes, it's so true, and it's all about pretension. Pretension is the word.
Very pretentious. Yeah,
and a lot of people don't, as you were saying, you know, $30,000 millionaire, people who act like they have tons of money and they really don't, or
right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's almost a prerequisite in some ways in Dallas to kind of move among the circles of people here to kind of put on a show. You know what I mean?
Especially being in the fashion industry, I see a lot of that. A lot of people that try to come in and make their mark, and you know, a lot of times, you know, they try to flaunt, you know, handbags or cars or whatever it may be. But you know, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up very poor, so. The fact that I even get to do half the things I get to do is like pinch myself moments for me.
Yeah.
But I definitely see what I like to say, pigs in wigs, you know, at events and things. But to each their own. To each their own.
What about you, Jason?
I don't know. I see. I'm not originally from here either, so I'm not really sure how it started. I know when I moved here, I always heard people say, you know, beware the Dallatude and, you know, that type of thing. And like I said, I'm not really sure how it started, but I have experienced it firsthand. It's just like, you know, if you're not, you know, driving a Mercedes or living in Highland Park or having this type of job, making this kind of money, it's like they're just not interested. And I'm just like, well, this is me. You know, I have my one-bedroom apartment and I'm driving a Toyota Camry. So I'm like, if that's not, you know, to your satisfaction, then sorry.
Well,
you know
and one thing I always say is, look, I personally, and this is just me, I love nice things. I like nice things. I like nice cars. I like nice clothes. I like nice stuff. I like nice stuff. But I don't make the things that I like, I don't let them define me. And I don't let them define other people either. So, for example, I could have a friend riding around in a little Pinto. I don't care. That's cool. Whatever. That's where you are. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
If you're driving a Mercedes, it's okay too. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. It really has nothing to do, for me personally, about who you are internally. And that's I think the difference is that a lot of people in Dallas specifically are just very, as we said already, are so obsessed with the exterior, the appearance, the flossy floss or whatever they say, and it's really not even really about that. And when you build your entire friendship or your base of people you know on these things, you don't really have any friends. I mean, you have superficial nonsense. And I went to SMU, and it was the first school I went to. It was incredibly pretentious and incredible. I mean, there's literally a girl when I went there who lived in an apartment off campus, and she was a freshman, and she had no clue how to make her bed or do her laundry. And she literally asked...
That's pretty damn sad.
She asked the management there to help her make her bed. I mean, I'm not saying that's everyone and that's a stereotype, but it's the truth. And
wait a minute. More importantly, what did the manager say?
They helped her.
Like a dumbass.
I think that a lot of people in Dallas define success through material goods.
Absolutely.
They feel like they have to, in order to prove that whatever it is that they're doing is successful,
that's a look it.
They're, probably, leasing cars they shouldn't be leasing,
right,
or going about it ways that they shouldn't, just to make their peers, I don't know, feel jealous, or, just solidify that they are successful.
Right. But I also, as you're saying, I personally, and because I grew up here, because I grew up in all this kind of Dallatude and this excess, this nonsense, that I feel like I've discovered a long time ago how empty it all is and ridiculous it is, and really it's really unimportant in the end. And so people who are doing that to me, that doesn't mean success to me. Right. Success to me is you're doing what you love to do in life, or you're happy with whatever you have, your husband, your wife, your friends, whatever. It's not about just material things.
Right.
But that's just me. But that's not to say. Go ahead.
I think there are a lot of cities that also deal with a lot of the same issues. I know Atlanta is a big one. I constantly hear from a lot of my friends that are from Atlanta that it's even worse there, because they actually have people over there getting, fake asses and fake breasts.
Oh, God.
And getting all this plastic surgery they can't even afford, or getting sugar daddies to pay for it just so they can, maybe hopefully be the next Atlanta reality star. I mean, it's just absolutely insane.
That's never been my thing. So it's like what you see is what you get.
Well,
so
yeah, and that's
just how I look
at it. That's good. And you know what? That's how everyone should be, and that's not how everyone is. And I just think Dallas is really bad about it.
Yeah, but you also, you get treated differently on both ends of the spectrum. And I've learned this firsthand very recently, because Cadillac is one of the sponsors on my blog, and I recently did a project with them, and they sent me a free car.
Wow.
And in this project, I was supposed to take photos with the car and basically, talk about how much, my experience with it and if I enjoyed it and so on and so forth. I did this event in Austin, so I went down there with the car and blah, 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 blah. So, loved the car, by the way. Mm-hmm. But the week and a half, 2 weeks I had it, every time I'd go to, mind you, this was a brand new, top-of-the-line Cadillac. Everywhere I went, every valet guy would run to me, park the car up front. People would stop me and say, "Oh, is that the new Cadillac?"
Right.
People would stop me. They'd be like, "Congratulations, good for you." And I drive a Kia Soul, and to be 22 and to have a car that I pay for, that's enough for me right now.
Absolutely.
But to go from both ends of the spectrum was really hilarious.
No. You're absolutely right, and that's funny, because I was going to mention something similar, not that kind of thing, but I was going to say that it's true that there's certain benefits that come to looking successful or looking rich. I should say rich, not successful. Looking wealthy or affluent. There's definitely a different type of treatment you get in stores and department stores and restaurants and everything. That's
very true. I remember I went to Neiman Marcus. I had a rental car, and I was supposed to pick up just a simple 4-door sedan, and when I got there, they were out, so I ended up getting a BMW. And which is a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
And it was it was celebrity status. And I was just I'm driving, because I was driving around this 2015 BMW. This is back in, I don't know, December, January or something like that. And yeah, so celebrity status, they'll come running up to the, car and oh, how are you doing today? And, and enjoy your shopping experience. I'm no one's ever said that to me before.
And it's true. And I understand that. But I also think that, the bad thing about that is people, I understand why people will behave that way. But I think that the thing is people need to realize that a lot of people who are truly wealthy don't even have any kind of, they don't flaunt it or show it. A lot of times they don't have anything. They look like a bum on the street sometimes. You never know. You cannot tell or judge a person's wealth or status.
Oh, absolutely not. I do, by day, and I can't like say it publicly, but by day I work for a very large luxury retailer, and I do like visual merchandising and things like that there. And when I first moved to Texas and I started working for them on the sales floor, that's one of the things that they talk about is, you know, like da-da-da-da-da, like, you know, you can't judge anybody because some people say like, oh, you can tell an affluent person by their shoes, which is a crock of BS. And I've got tons of stories about, you know, people that weren't ever being helped and they happened to bump into me and spent thousands of dollars. So I definitely agree with what you're saying.
It's the truth, and I think anyone who's lived life long enough and is smart knows that.
Right. I mean, and that's so silly.
Yeah, it is. It's very silly and stupid. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to talk about that. One thing I wanted to mention real quick before we move on is you all, of course, know about the Dallas Voice. Yeah? I mean, the Dallas Voice. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
It's
absolutely.
The paper here in Dallas, and the gay paper. And I have advertised in there before. I've advertised in there years ago for different businesses or whatever. Anyway, and so recently I've been trying to get a hold of them to advertise for a couple businesses. And I've called them, and this is not a big deal to you probably, but for me it's a huge deal. I called them literally like 7-8 times. I've talked to people on the phone. I've emailed them. I've done everything that I can to get in touch with these people. They refuse to call me back. I've left messages. They say, oh, we'll get back to you. I want to advertise. Okay, I'll get back to you. They don't want my fucking money. So I find it really...
Oh, you've already paid them?
No, I haven't even gotten the information yet.
Sorry.
They haven't given me the pricing. I'm looking for the pricing, okay? And also the mechanical information so I can know what size to make the ad. And I know this is like not frustrating for someone like you guys, you know, whatever, but for me it's fucking frustrating. And my point about this is like I've had several instances in my life where I'm trying to get good service or customer service or whatever, and for some reason for me it just fucking pisses me off. I can go through a drive-through and they get my order wrong. I get so fucking angry. I don't know why. What it is about
it only gets angry for me if I get home and I realize they fucked up my order.
Well, that too. That makes that's even worse. But
well, I understand the ad thing just because, like you said, you know, I am trying to give you money.
Exactly. You know, I even tweeted them. I said, "Okay, I'm trying to give you money." Does the Dallas Voice not need my money? I'm trying to buy ad space. Do you want my money? I tweeted them. I called the publisher, left a message. I mean, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? So it feels personal to me. And I don't know what I ever fucking did to the Dallas Voice, but it's like these fuckers do not want my money. So I'm like, fuck you. But the problem is, it is the easiest way to reach the gay community, you know, directly here.
And watch, they'll reach back to you and they'll respond to you like when you least expect it. That's if they do.
Well, if they do, I may or may not be in the market for ad space anymore. Anyway, bitches. So, Jason, you wanted to talk about Rosie Perez leaving The View?
Yes. So, Rosie Perez has announced that she's leaving The View. I'm assuming at the end of this season, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they said.
They are bringing in Sherri Shepherd to quote-unquote save the show. Now, here's my problem.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, what?
It's all over the internet. Yeah, they're bringing in Sherri Shepherd to quote unquote save the show because I guess, according to recent polls, I guess their ratings have been declining sharply.
Yes.
So they are trying to, I guess, kind of save/resurrect the show. And I just personally think that bringing back Sherri Shepherd is not a good idea because to me she was boring when she was on there. So I don't understand how they think Sherri Shepherd is going to be able to resurrect.
Well, they did clarify. They clarified. Michelle Collins is stepping in as the new full-time host next season. Then they'll have one seat which will rotate between Candace Cameron and Sherri Shepherd and one other gal I can't remember. So it'll be a rotating seat. So she won't be there every episode.
So a bigot
it'll just
and an idiot.
Be a rotating thing.
A bigot and an idiot and some other person.
I just feel like it's since Barbara and Joy left, to be honest.
I loved Joy Behar personally. I mean,
they're trying to change. It's clear that they're trying to change the tone of the show to compete with similar shows. So,
I know they want that younger demographic, but
they do. They literally said they want the 18 to 49 demographic, and they only have 500,000 women watching in that age range when they watch the show.
Right.
So they're trying to get more in that. But I think, don't you think that's ridiculous to kind of cater to one demographic? If you're getting another demographic, why don't you advertise for those people?
But see, here's my thing, though.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I've noticed just over the past